Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. It is that time of the day where I thank the good Lord above that I still do this, because I get more excited probably for these videos than anyone out there. And by the way, if you still watch the channel, still support the channel, thank you so much, because I love data. 7 stars are technically the rarest of rarities in this game, but in Valiant daily crystals, it is technically possible to get one. Now, I have yet to do it, but we are still in the first month of my Valiant account. And as a reminder, the drop rates for a 7-star in a daily Valiant crystal are 0.1. To compare that to something else, even if you're thinking about, say, a 6-star in the form of an arena crystal, like in the form of, a Thronebreaker arena crystal, if you were to get that 6-star, you're looking at a 0.02. So 0.02 for that, and so many people have never gotten a rare Punisher from any of those crystals, because it does feel like it's almost impossible. So we're comparing directly 0.02 to 0.1. So it's actually 5 times more likely to get a 7-star from a daily Valiant than it is to get a 6-star from a Thronebreaker arena crystal. Somebody explain that one to me. I like to do batch openings of data with these, but in around batches of 10, so every 5 days. But if you're going to argue that the true data comes from 30 days of what we used to call a month of these, now this is technically 15 days, because you can now get 2 per day maximum if you go through the Kabam website store along with the in-game store. So this is 15 days for people who do that, 30 days for people who don't. I don't know why you wouldn't do that. Some people just don't trust the Kabam website, I suppose. So I think there is probably a 5% chance that he gets a 7-star from one of these, but who knows? I have not watched these. I am very curious what an old system of 1 month of these dailies does, because for a long time you could get 1 per day max, and that is a beautiful start. I think we got about 4,500 fragments, 9,000 if you were really lucky in the previous daily Paragon crystal. So we're talking about 10 to 20% of 1 versus 100%. That is the biggest leap in what you got in the previous daily crystal versus what you get now for any item. The worst you can do is this. It is half of a tier 5 class catalyst crystal, or 22,500 fragments, which again, compared to 4,500, is still ridiculously a huge jump. And then he popped 10. Look at those tier 6 basic catalyst fragments, and a tier 3 alpha. A fully formed tier 3 alpha? I do declare that is the case, which Kabam used to charge $100 for one of those. Now, even for Paragon players, if you get real lucky, they're worth about $10 a piece. And there is some tier 6 class catalyst fragments. That is very rare. 11,400. That's a huge amount. I don't know if I've even done that once yet. So that's a good chunk. I expected it to be far less than that when you got it. So that is really good data. It's crazy how good these are for summoners who are Valiant compared to Paragon. And this is, of course, the #1 motivation for becoming Valiant, is to get these rare rank 4 and up materials for free. So halfway through, haven't seen a 7-star, but you've seen so much else. Haven't seen a 6-star crystal yet. That should be around the bend at some point. Here's another batch of tier 6 basic. And again, 11,400 adds up fast. Is he going to pop another batch of 10? He is. Still no 7-star, but 2 tier 6 basic now. 2 tier 3 alpha for free. We cannot undersell or underscore how big of a change that is for the economy of the game for people who have access to these. And I realize most people still don't. But when that is what you shrug your shoulders and say, oh, another one? When they're still so rare, especially for Thronebreaker players and below. Paragon players are starting to become more common, but obviously not nearly as common as Valiant players. And another tier 6 basic. Yes, this is like the heat-seeking missile of this account. But I would never complain about that. The only thing that's interesting is that I'm used to having the exact same percent of tier 6 basic and tier 3 alpha in my inventory, and these now kind of prevent that from happening, really. And, oh, I was not going to get excited about that 7-star Gambit. Felt like too much of a troll roll. That is half of a tier 5 Cosmic, which is definitely the opposite of that Gambit. But he formed a Cosmic Catalyst, so can't ever complain about that. 2 more in this opening. The tier 6 class Catalyst fragments still appear to be the rarest, but look at that! That thing looks so huge, internet phrases, compared to what the tier 5 basic and certainly tier 4 basic looked like. Wow. 1 month of daily Valiant crystals. Look at that! No way you're ending on the luckiest of all. What are the odds of that? A fully formed tier 6 class Catalyst? What? That is account changing for free. What? I haven't seen that yet. The very last one, a tier 6 class Catalyst is a 1.5% drop rate. 1.5%. The fragments are still a 4.5%. So it's actually kind of an amazing deal that it's only about 3 times less the odds to get a fully formed as it is to get like a 20%er. Either way, 1 month, technically 15 days, but 1 month of those crystals, if you're just going off of the in-game and not the outside the game purchases, which are still free as a reminder as long as you log into your account every 24 hours and redeem it through the Kabam website store, that's account changing. I'm very envious of this. I've opened the 6-star crystal before. I've opened units before. Haven't opened 7-star shards yet. Haven't opened 7-star hero crystal. The 7-star shards, by the way, are still 1.5%. Same drop rates for 7-star shards. Actually, a little bit more common, like a very little bit, than tier 6 class Catalyst. But let's go back to that image to end this, because that is just absurd. So, in the end, look at that. 3 tier 6 basic, 1 fully formed tier 6 class Catalyst. By the way, 3 tier 6 basic and then 74,100. So really it's 4 tier 4 basic. Or excuse me, 4 tier 6 basic. Tier 4 basic would not be impressive 5 years ago. So many numbers now in the game swarm around my head and make me feel very self-conscious as to whether or not I'm even saying the right words, because it all kind of jumbles together after a while. But this is just insane data, and again, apparently I'm allergic to it because I can't stop sneezing. But that's just how excited I am to not be allergic to these crystals to the point that I can't open them. So it's a lot of money and a lot of time to become Valiant right now. Basically, you have to explore Necropolis, or you would have had to complete Necropolis and do almost all of the purchases on Cyber Week worth of units and or cash to get a second rank 3 7-star. I know a lot of Paragon players are frustrated. Gifting does not seem to be a good event to help with this frustration, but it is what it is. Kabam has given us their rules, and we can either take it or leave it in the last month of the game's calendar year. So, King of Arenas, congratulations. You hit the jackpot a couple times in this RNG, and I'm honored to feature the data on my YouTube channel.